Trace your meridians daily and you'll keep yourself healthier and feeling good. But sometimes, because of physical or emotional stress, a meridian may need more than tracing. And it is so valuable to have a way to know which meridians need that help. Alarm points are specific acupuncture points that act as circuit breakers on the meridians. When physical or emotional problems interfere with the flow of energy, an alarm goes off. There is an alarm point or a pair of alarm points on each meridian, and you can quickly energy test all 14 meridians with alarm points. If an alarm goes off, the meridian connected with that alarm point is either overloaded, it's undercharged, it's scrambled, or sluggish. So notice if there is tenderness when you massage an alarm point. If so, the alarm is sounding. Pay attention. You can also use the general indicator test with each alarm point to be sure. With either hand, you would hold the tips of your thumb, your index finger, and middle finger together and place them on an alarm point. Have a partner energy test your other arm. You will lose strength if the alarm is sounding. 8 of the meridians have a single alarm point each. The other 6 meridians each has a pair of alarm points. To test the alarm points, you have the person make a 3-finger notch with the thumb, pointer finger, and middle finger and place them right on an alarm point. And I'm going to energy test with the other arm. And he tests strong. We're going to use the other arm so that he can see. I'm going to use this arm now, and he's putting his hand right on the alarm point, and he is fine. That's lung meridian. Now we're going to go to the middle of the chest for circulation sex, and that tests fine. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the sternum for heart, and that tests strong. Now we're going to go about 1.5 inches below that for stomach, and that tests strong. We're going to go straight down the body. So the next points are right 1 inch below the belly button, and that's triple warmer, and that tests strong. Then 1 inch below that to small intestine, and that tests strong. And the next point to bladder, and that tests strong. Now, I want you to come up to the sides of the body, and we're going to do lung meridian, okay? Again, and go straight down the sides of the body. That tests strong. Now you're going to drop below the breast to the rib, below where a woman's bra line would be, and that tests strong for liver. Now we're going to come out to the side of the rib cage there, and that tests strong for gallbladder. Now we're going to come to the side of the belly button about 1 inch and test that, and that tests weak on you, and that's large intestine. Okay, that means that there is some imbalance there. Now we're going to come to the side of the rib cage, the bottom rib cage, drop to on your side, and that's spleen, and that's fine, and then drop to the back floating rib, and that's kidney, and that's fine. And we really should test them on this side of the body also. So I will turn you around so that it can be seen well, and we're going to do the same thing on this side of the body. You put your hand up to lung meridian, which is right there, and just test it over here. That's fine. Now come down to here. That's fine. Come to here. That's okay. Come to outside of your belly button, and that is not okay. So we've got large intestine. And then to the side of the body, that's okay, and kidney, that's okay. Sometimes one side of the body will be out of balance with the other, so it's important to do both sides of the body. The first 8 alarm points are on a line that goes straight down the front of your body. Governing is at the tip of your nose or the bridge of your nose, either place. Central is at the center of your chin. Circulation sex meridian is centered between the nipples. Heart is at the bottom tip of the sternum. And stomach is halfway between the bottom of the sternum and the belly button. Triple warmer is an inch below the belly button. Small intestine, you just drop down 1 inch more. And bladder, again, drop down 1 more inch to the top of the pubic bone. The remaining alarm points are paired, and each side must be tested if you're going to test them. So return to the top of the body. Swing your thumbs up to where they naturally land on the upper edge of your chest, near where the arms are attached to the torso. Liver, you make a plumb line from the nipple straight down to 1 rib beneath the breast and below where a bra might be. Gallbladder, drop about another inch to the edge of the rib cage. Spleen, with your hands on your rib cage at the side of your body, take your hands straight down until you reach the last rib. This is the body's only floating rib. Kidney is found by following the rib cage about 1 inch toward your back to the edge of the bottom rib. Large intestine, move your fingers to the belly button and come out 1 inch to either side of it. Now, if your muscle remains locked and strong when touching the alarm point, then there's no problem on that meridian. But if you lose strength on the test, there is some kind of imbalance in the energy. If its energy is blocked, the meridian is undercharged. If there's too much energy surging through it, the meridian is overcharged. There are 5 basic ways to rebalance your meridians after you have found those imbalances through testing alarm points. The first step is to simply turn the alarm point off. Turn the alarm off by stretching and twisting. That sets the field for the next 4. So the next are to flush the meridian, and the next is to massage the neurolymphatic points, then to hold the neurovascular points, and then to hold the acupressure points. A very quick overview: you do not have to do every one of them. You may find that one of these systems is enough and you feel stronger, or if somebody tests you, you will test strong. But depending on your own health at this particular time or your own particular vulnerabilities, you may need more than one system. But begin with these systems and go through until you find one that really strengthens your meridian pathway. I want to say that there are no absolutes in energy healing. By that I mean you are unique, and what may be really right for you might be different than something that perhaps I'm even teaching. So if your particular problem deals more with stress, you might want to begin with neurovasculars. If you feel your body is stuck, you may want to begin with neurolymphatics. If you feel that you just can't get your energy moving at all, you may want to flush your meridians. And if you feel that you are really in trouble, I would hold the acupressure points. To bring healing to a meridian, you can begin by turning off the meridian's alarm. Stretch and twist the skin directly over the alarm point. The only imbalance we found on alarm points was large intestine, so it's important for me now to turn the alarm off. And what I do is I go right to where the alarm point is, and I twist. It's a stretch and a twist. You just simply turn, you push in and you turn right on the alarm point. And what that does is it gets the energy moving. So we're going to test it again. All right? All right? And on the other side. Yes. So you just get the energy moving by stretching it and twisting it and turning the alarm off. To stretch and twist an alarm point, place the fingers of either hand on the alarm point as you inhale. Exhaling, press the alarm point with your thumb and 3 fingers and twist the skin about a quarter turn. You've already seen how to trace the meridians forward. To flush a meridian is to trace it backwards. Flushing a meridian backwashes its energy, so the pathway will be clear when you then move your hand forward in harmony with its natural flow. And flushing can sedate or energize, depending on whether the meridian was overcharged or undercharged. Flushing a meridian before you strengthen it clears it of energetic debris. Then you have more space for fresh energy to enter. Look to the meridian chart. You'll see that there is a natural direction that all the meridians flow. To flush a meridian, trace it backwards once and forward 3 times. For instance, on lung meridian, trace it backwards 1 time. Start at the end of the meridian and trace it backwards to the beginning, and then forward 3 times from the beginning to the end. That is flushing a meridian. To flush a meridian, begin by finding earlier on the tape or in the book Energy Medicine how to trace that meridian. Use the full sweep of either or both hands to trace the meridian in the opposite direction of its natural flow. As you pass your hands over the meridian pathway, inhale. You may want to imagine that your hand is a magnet pulling stagnant energies out of the meridian. Exhale and shake these energies off your hands. After flushing the meridian once, trace it in its normal direction, at least 3 times, slowly and deliberately. Massaging the neurolymphatic reflex points is part of the daily energy routine. It keeps your lymph flowing. Each meridian is associated with specific lymphatic points. And when you massage these points, you move toxins out of the meridian and you open the flow of energies. The alarm point energy test tells you which points need to be massaged. But you can also know because that lymphatic point will be tender. Massage any points that hurt. Now, when you tested the alarm points and found meridians that were out of balance, you needed to know a way to rebalance them, and I'm going to give you that. Find on the drawings the lymphatics that go with the meridian that was out of balance for you and massage those points. For instance, if it was lung meridian, you're going to want to now massage lung points. If it was stomach, you're going to want to massage the stomach points, and so forth and so on. You can track your own health patterns by paying attention to the points that are consistently tender. Then identify the meridians that go with those points. Your body will give you feedback from the tenderness it feels when you massage it, as well as from an increase in energies you'll have afterwards. . Holding your neurovascular points can lift you out of stress. It can be a lifesaver when you are just about to lose it, are in overwhelm, or you're about to blow up at your kids or your spouse. You have already worked the neurovascular points above your eyes, on your forehead. By holding other neurovascular points, you can increase blood circulation and reduce stress in different parts of the body. Well, I will talk about neurovasculars. Last night we talked about these frontal points, these points that when you feel so stressed, and if you hold the points, it'll bring the blood back into the forebrain and just alleviate stress. Well, there are neurovascular points all over the head. That there's like a map on your head that if you follow it, you can feel real comfortable where those points are. Neurovasculars, again, are extremely important for stress. And there are different points for different meridians in the body. Now, I'm just going to show you, and if you want to take your own hands and just feel them on your head as I travel up over the head, okay? If I start right here, just where the head turns down here at the bottom. This is a kidney point. This is the first point, it's a kidney point. The next point is a triple warmer point. You just go up 1 inch at a time. And then where the head turns, this is a spleen point. Right here at the top of the head is lungs and heart, and it's actually quite a main point in the body, or on the head. And then you split your fingers here and it comes like a V right at the hairline, and that's for liver, liver meridian. If you bring your hands down to right on the forehead, they're the points that we talked about already, the neurovascular points for stress. And then you just drop come right here to between the eyes, is for bladder. Then drop down here to the cheekbones. These are for all the neck muscles. And then you go straight up to the temples. This is for kidney. Drop back to the opening of the ear, and it's triple warmer. Go straight up the side, about 1 inch above the ears. It's a spleen point again. And then go straight up to the turn of the head. It's large intestine and small intestine, and then drop back right to the sides down here to where the head turns, and that's a circulation sex point. Now that will be on the diagram, but a wonderful way to work with those points is if you already know there's an organ or a part of your body that could use some nourishment of blood, some new energy flushing through, you can just hold those points. You just hold them gently. And if you feel particularly stressed, if you hold your frontal points and then put your other fingers, like I'm going to put some right here on these neurovasculars, or hold right here. You can mix them. You can hold these front points and any other point. You can hold the front and the back. If you hold the front points, it just makes everything work better. But I will tell you a secret, that if you get familiar with each one of those, and when you're sitting in a bathtub at night or really comfortable, even watching TV, you might choose just one set of points and hold them for 2 or 3 minutes. And you will start, it's like a cranial treatment you're giving yourself. You will begin to flush blood better through your own brain and through your own head, and it's like washing your skull. It's very, very good for your health. So we're going to use a different method of strengthening. Acupuncture points, which I just held on Becky, it connects energy pathways, so it makes the energy flow. Neurovasculars makes blood flow, okay? And that's what I'm going to I'm going to use the neurovascular technique on you. So I'm going to test her in the same way. You hold your arm real strong, okay, and don't let me pull out. Nice and weak. Okay. Hold real strong again. Okay. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to place my fingers right above her ears like this. And if I wanted to, which would make it work even better, I'm going to hold these frontal points and those points on the side above her ears. And I'm just going to hold these until I can feel a real pulse beating of the blood. And that's what you feel. You feel the blood pumping through. And you can hold these on yourselves. Now, neurovasculars almost always have to do with stress, okay? So if you're going through stress in your life, you may want to, it's neurovasculars you usually want to work with, all right? Now, we don't know how bad her stress is, so but I'm going to stay with this until I can really feel some blood pulsing through. And everybody here would be able to feel this if you held somebody else's. Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult when you're trying to feel your own. But if you held somebody else's, you'd be able to feel it. And if you held them long enough, you'd go, oh my God, there's so much movement going on, I can't believe it. Now I'm starting to feel that blood come up now. It's really pulsing on the side, which means that spleen meridian, I could test it now, I know it was strong. But the frontal points, they're not quite strong. One of the things she just did, which you will always notice, even if you can't quite feel it yet, that person will take a deep sigh. As the blood comes up, they will take a deep sigh. And she has sighed twice, real deep. Okay, now, I want to hold your arm, and you hold it next to your body. No, pull it. So it gets the blood flowing. And if you're really stressed, you can lose, remember, up to 80% of the blood in your forebrain. That's a lot of blood to lose. So if you're wondering why you can't think your way through one of the messes you found yourself in, it's because you don't have all the blood there. You really don't have all your marbles. Okay? But if you hold your neurovascular points, you will get that blood back up into your forebrain. You're welcome. Showing you how to test for alarm points lets you know which meridians are out of balance already. If you know yourself to be stressed, my first choice would be to go to neurovasculars before the other systems. And in the alarm point test, you found which meridian was out of balance in your body. So you would look at the chart and see which neurovascular that matched that meridian. It will have the name of the meridian next to the neurovascular, and you would simply go to those points and hold them. Locate the neurovascular points associated with the meridian, the tested weak, or the one that governs an organ that is concerning you. Lightly hold the pads of your fingertips on these points for between 2 and 3 minutes. Using several fingers ensures that you will cover the right points. The darkened circle at the bottom of the head in the diagram is a neurolymphatic point. You can massage to open the energy. You might massage this point before holding the neurovascular points. Your hands become like a jumper cable that draws energies to the meridian when you hold acupuncture strengthening points for 2 or 3 minutes. Last night, we were showing ways to strengthen meridians. And one of the ways is with acupressure points or acupuncture points. And Sometimes you just need an added boost. Maybe you're working on a meridian, or you're trying to strengthen a force field in your own body, and it's not getting as strong as you want. And that's the time, I think, to go to acupressure points, because it's like you become a jumper cable to that person's body. Now, last night and today, I find that Becky's, well, I'll show you on this side. Hold your arm next to your body and don't let me pull out. Well, she's a little stronger. She was tapping those spleen points. Let me see this arm. One side of the body, now this is interesting. You can be lopsided. One side might be strong and the other side might be weak. And right now on this side of the body, spleen meridian, I can do one finger. Spleen meridian is very weak. Now on this side of the body, she's gotten stronger. So she's a little lopsided, so we're going to straighten her out. And you will see in the diagram of acupressure points squares that show the strengthening point and the sedating point for all of the meridians. And what I am doing right now is I am holding the strengthening points for spleen meridian on her body. And what I am doing right now is I am holding the strengthening points for spleen meridian on her body right now. And these points are shown in the diagram. I'm just on the inside of her foot, right beneath her big toe, and I'm right on a heart point on her hand. And I'm literally hooking up two pathways of energy so that the energy will connect. And you get real good at this and you begin to feel, you know exactly when it connects. You go, whoa, there it went. And if you can't feel it, and many people, probably most people can't feel it when they first begin, and that's simply because you haven't been exposed to working with it, so those sensory awarenesses just aren't open to you yet. But eventually you do become very, very sensitive to these points. Now, I just felt that connect, so I knew that connected. And the second points, I'm going to take your shoe off, okay? The second points are on the inside and the outside of the big toe. And I'm just going to hold those points. And literally, these are two different meridians, spleen meridian and liver. And I'm going to hook those points up. And then I'm going to test you again. Now that hooked up much faster. And so I'm going to test you now on this arm. And you hold. And she's very strong now. So you can hold those points on your own body. You can really train your body to move the energy and bring fresh new energy into your body. And if you have a vulnerability, like Becky has a slight vulnerability on spleen meridian, which usually means you're more vulnerable to foods or allergies. You're just more vulnerable. And so that's a really important and good one for you to strengthen and keep strong.
Thank you.
Okay. So find the square that corresponds with the meridian. The abbreviations followed by a number name the acupuncture point. SI5, for instance, is small intestine 5, or the 5th acupuncture point on the small intestine meridian. Lightly but firmly hold the pair of strengthening points labeled first for 2 to 3 minutes. Hold the pair of strengthening points labeled second for about 2 minutes. The energy of the right hemisphere of the brain is meant to cross over to the left side of the body, and the energy from the left hemisphere of the body is meant to cross over to the right side of the body. But when your energies are moving straight up and down each side of your body, like parallel lines, the pattern is referred to as homolateral, and you are operating at less than 50% efficiency. Not only Are you unable to think clearly? You cannot get well if your energies are homolateral. It is that simple. If your energies are not crossing over well, and it's been going on for a while, for one reason or another, your energies just go straight up and down, and you cannot access your best. You can't access all of the words you want to say, or your brain power. Sometimes it feels like nothing's working as well as it should because you are what is called homolateral. Now I need a big piece of paper to show this. That's good? Okay, this is fine. Okay. Now on one side I've made an X, and one side I've made two vertical lines. Okay? So I'm going to have her look at the X first. Just look at that X and hold your arm as strong as you possibly can. Nothing. She's got nothing when she looks at X. Now I want you to look at two vertical lines. And she's very strong on two vertical lines, and it should be the opposite. Vertical lines should make you weak, and an X should make you strong. It means that you are what is considered homolateral, and so are you. That's part of the reason your energies aren't crossing over a lot. So it's it really behooves you. Your life will work better. You'll be healthier, more vital, more alive, everything. You'll just be in sync if your energies cross over. So this is something to get you out of it. It might be easier if we do it on a chair, okay? So I'm going to need two chairs here. And what I would suggest is everybody in the audience do this too, okay? Even if you don't need it, it's one so worth knowing how to do. Because if nothing, say you're doing all these exercises and you don't feel like you're getting the benefit you ought to, what it means is you are probably homolateral. Homolateral means your energies aren't crossing over, okay? So if you're homolateral, do this, and then your other exercises will start working better. All right, here's what you're going to do. What I'd suggest is start with the 3 thumps, okay? Just breathe deep and hit K27. And then move to the middle of your chest to the thymus gland. And then drop down here to beneath the breasts. Okay. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to homolateral crawl, which means you're going to pick up the same arm and the same leg, like this. Okay? You're not going to try to cross over. Everybody else do it too. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And after, 12 or 14 times, I want you just to stop, okay? And if you get tired ever doing this, rest. Don't push yourself through it because it's like it'll turn on the stress response and your fight or flight will turn on, and then you'll lose the blood in your forebrain. So just really take care of yourself when you do this. So after you're not tired, cross over to the opposite. Wait, before you do that, hold your arms strong. She's very strong on homolateral. See, most people who are not, if you're not homolateral, that's going to make you very weak because we just did it on the same side of the body. Now cross over. Okay, stop. Now I'm going to test you on that. And she has no energy on crossover. So we're going to keep going with that pattern until it suddenly makes you strong on cross crawl. It's a bit like tricking the brain, okay? So we're going to go back to homolateral. Same arm and same leg. Come on. I work with a lot of people who have autoimmune illnesses, and without exception, every single person has been homolateral. Okay, so chronic stress fatigue is the same way. You're homolateral, period. Okay, so crossover. You can have less than 50% capacity of your own energies if you're homolateral. It usually takes about 3 patterns to flip the energy to cross over. And if you're finding it hard on the crossover now, it means that you were probably homolateral too. Okay, now rest a minute. You okay? Okay, you want to go to homolateral now? Okay? There's a school where we live that every morning when you drive by that school, they go from kindergarten to 6th grade. All the kids in the entire school are out in the field, and they're all doing these exercises. And the first thing the teacher has them do, though, is this homolateral, to make sure if their energies are not crossing over, then the other exercises don't work as well. So you want to get the energies to cross over. Now, cross crawl. And do a little bit more of this last cross crawl than the others. All right. And you're breathing, right? Anybody tired? Okay. Now let's see. All right. Now stand up and let's test you. Look at the 2 straight lines. That's what we want. We want 2 straight lines to weaken her, and we want 2 vertical lines to strengthen her. Now, what I want to tell you is this, is that if this has been going on for a while, your body isn't going to want to stay this way. The body wants to revert back to the pattern that's been sustaining it, even if it's not for your highest good. You usually get into this kind of a predicament with homolateral when you've been going against what your body wants. You know, if your body wants you to take off and take a vacation and you can't do it, then it puts you in a homolateral state. It's like it keeps upping the ante till you finally have to get some rest or get out of stress. But if you've got to stay in the world you're living in and you can't step out of it, do this every day until you don't need it anymore. I mean, you will know when you don't need it anymore. But yes, so I would say, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to do 12 or 14 homolaterals, which is the same side of the body. Then you're going to cross over with the 12 or 14 crossovers. You're going to repeat that pattern 2 more times, so 3 patterns in all. And the last time, you're going to do about twice as many cross crawls. When we tested her, and these 2 straight lines made her very strong, it's because that's how her energies are going. They're going straight up and down the body. And that puts her in alignment with the way her eyes see it. Okay? Her eyes see this, and it's exactly how her energies were. Okay? And she was weak because her eyes couldn't even take that. If you look at a crossover, her energies aren't crossing over from one side of the brain to the other side of the body. And it scrambles her fields, and she couldn't keep her strength. But it should be, if it's like this, literally, she has less than 50% capacity of her own energy, which means she's vulnerable to illness, which means she's vulnerable to just not feeling great in this world. You just don't have it's like you don't have accessibility to all your great energies. You got great energies and you can't get to them. But if you're in that state long enough, then you don't even think you got them anymore. You know what I mean? So we want you to stay in this state. And I just want to say one more time that if you get to this place where your energies are homolateral, you've got a pattern going. And in order to break the pattern, your body's going to want to revert back to a homolateral state. It won't want to keep this crossover. So you're going to need to do this every day to set in the new pattern. Okay? And then your body will kick in and it'll be okay. I can't tell you how long, but I do it. I would bet you're going to need it for at least 10 days. Okay? Every day. And then skip a day and see, did your body hold it? You'll feel better. The more you do it, your body will start holding it longer and longer. Okay? All right. You're welcome. Here is a review of the homolateral crossover. Begin with the 3 thumps, here, here, and here. March in place, right arm with right leg and left with left. After about 12 lifts, switch to a cross crawl for 12 lifts. Repeat this sequence 2 more times, breathing deeply. And end with a normal cross crawl and the 3 thumps again, here, here, and here. The ileocecal valve opens and shuts rhythmically to process waste materials, foods, and all kinds of toxins that accumulate in your body. If this valve's rhythm is off, it can play havoc with your health, mimicking over 24 illnesses, from digestive ailments to lower backaches to bronchitis. When other remedies are not working, it is worth the effort to check and reset the ileocecal valve, and it's easy to do. The ileocecal valve is a valve that sits between the small and large intestine on the right side of your body. And it plays havoc with your health and with your energies if you're particularly stressed, especially. If it's running smooth, it operates like a it rhythmically opens and shuts to process waste material, and also waste stresses or hormones in the body. So everything gets processed through there. But if you get very, very stressed, the valve quits going in a rhythm, and things will back up, toxins back up in your body, or your digestive system gets off, and many things can mimic as many other things, and it just turns out to be a problem with the ileocecal valve. Fix that, and the other things fall into place. So now, since we're standing up, I won't test any of your legs. Usually I would test people on a table, but I can test it in another way. I'll just use this general indicator test, all right? So I want you to hold, let's see, I'm going to use this arm. Hold your arm real strong. All right, you're nice and strong. Now I want you to put your hand, just flatten it right there, okay? And I'm going to test you. I'll just test with one finger. And she loses her strength when again, this is called therapy localizing. If you want to test anything in your body, just lay your hand on it and have somebody test you. You'll find out it shouldn't be that will stop your energy. It's like your hand shouldn't stop your energy. The energy should continue to move. So it's a very simple thing you can do if you put one hand over the ileocecal valve, and I'm going to tell you to put your other hand over your Houston valve, which is on the other side. And it's just for balance sake. Usually you don't need to do it on the other side, but it's just for balance sake. Yes, if you put it in the same place and press your fingers in and take a deep breath and just drag your fingers up about 7 inches. And then just shake your hands out. And then go about 3 or 4 more times. And if you feel any pain when you go up or any tenderness, linger there and massage it a little bit. And just go around in little circles if you feel tenderness. If you don't feel tenderness, just drag it up. If you don't feel tenderness, it means that it's just temporarily off. Something's thrown it off, you know.
I felt it on the first time, but
not again. Well, you probably fixed it really fast. Your energy already looks good, but let's do it one more time. And then just... Now, one time, after doing it about 4 times, just take your hands down one time. That's all. Just, you don't even have to go as deep. Just sort of smooth it out. Okay, now put your hand there. All right. That's ileocecal valve. And again, I cannot tell you in my private practice how many people think they might have this dread thing wrong with them or that dread thing, and it turns out so many times it's the ileocecal valve. It's just because it has more to do than with just the small and large intestine. If toxins get backed up into your body, it may look like your face has broken out, or it could be a lot of things, you know, just lots of different things it could be. Place your right hand on your right hip bone with your little finger at the inside edge. Your hand is over the ileocecal valve. Place your left hand at the corresponding spot at the inner edge of your left hip bone. This is the Houston valve. Exert pressure as you massage slowly and drag the fingers of each hand up 6 to 7 inches with a deep inhalation. Breathe out, shaking the energy off your hands. Return to the original position and repeat about 4 times. With the last out breath, drag your fingers downward 1 time with pressure. Close with the 3 thumps, here, here, and here. The diaphragm fans oxygen throughout the body like a bellows. It's a thin muscle partition between the chest and the abdomen. When the body is under physical or emotional stress, the diaphragm becomes conservative in its distribution of oxygen, and you are more vulnerable to many illnesses, from heart disease to cancer. If your ileocecal valve gets off, then the next thing that happens is your diaphragm gets off, because your diaphragm is like this bellows here between, separates your chest and your stomach, and it fans oxygen all over your body. And if this valve loses its rhythm, then the diaphragm also it tends to close down or get more conservative. So here, I'm going to just test you, and you hold your arm real strong. You're nice and strong. Now I'm just going to push up right there, okay? And now hold. And all that shouldn't, what I did was I pushed in on his diaphragm, and it shouldn't lock up. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your left hand right on top, flat on top of your diaphragm, your right hand on top of that, and you're going to take a deep breath in, hold your breath, and push your body out against your hands and push your hands against you. And then let your breath out. And let your arms go too when you do that. Now do it again. Go. And push. No, hold your breath. Go. Hold your breath and push your body out against your hands. And let go. Now you might get more and more sensitive that you can begin to feel oxygen go in other parts of your body. I know that when I have somebody do this on the table, when they're laying on a massage table, they will often say, God, I could feel that in my legs, you know, and when their legs are out front. But just notice this next time, if you feel oxygen going anywhere. So one more time, we're going to do it 4 times. So you've done it twice. So here we're going to do it again. Yeah, okay, go. Hold your breath and push as hard as you can and push your hands in. And then let go. And one more time. And let go. Okay, now take your right hand and put it around to the left side of your body with your fingers spread, and just pull over to the middle of your body and shake it off. Take your left hand and grab it on the other side and pull over to the middle. Okay. Now, you got oxygen pumping, and you know what? For one thing, there's so many diseases you can't get if you have oxygen going into your cells. Like cancer cannot live in a well-oxygenated body. So that's a really good exercise to do. Now I'm going to go. All right. Thanks, Matt. Here is a summary of how to free the diaphragm. Firmly place your left hand under the center of your rib cage and place your right hand on top of it. With your hands flat, pull your elbows close to your body so you're hugging your midsection. Inhale deeply and push your body towards your hands while your hands push back against your body. Hold your breath and push hard. Now release your breath and hand pressure. Relax and repeat that about 3 times. And on an in-breath, reach around with your right hand around the left side of your waist with your fingers spread. On the out-breath, pull your fingers toward your midsection with pressure. Repeat that several times. Then with your hand across your right side, pull your hand across the midsection again and repeat that 2 or 3 times. One person's vitamin is another person's poison. If the vibrational rate of a food, a vitamin, or supplement does not harmonize with the vibrational rate of your body, you will not absorb and metabolize it, though all the experts in the world say you need it. Even good food is toxic if its vibration triggers your immune system to tie itself up in a defensive reaction. If a particular food is highly toxic for you, you do not need an energy test. But many foods drain your energies just a bit or provide less value than they might, and it is hard to sort this out because so many factors influence how you feel after a meal. Energy testing can help you eat what your body needs, which is one of the most powerful steps you can take for maintaining good health. There are so many books out there and so many experts that will tell you exactly what is good for your body, that this food is absolutely necessary for you to prosper and stay healthy, or that vitamin or that mineral. And what I'd like you to know is that we are all unique, we are all very different, and what is really good for you may not be good for somebody else, and vice versa. And I'd like to give you the tool, the test, the technique to be able to know when a food is really good for you or when a vitamin is good for you and how much of a particular supplement might be good for you. So I would like, I'd like anybody in here who might like to be tested and find out how to test for food, if somebody would come up here right now. I'll have to grab you if you don't come. Okay. All right, hi. Okay, now I'm going to show you a different energy test tonight. And it tests spleen meridian. And the reason why this is an excellent energy test to use, and perhaps the best one, I think, is because it deals with metabolizing food. Whether or not something will resonate with your energy, whether or not your body will metabolize it. So testing spleen meridian, which governs metabolizing of food, actually governs metabolizing of thought, metabolizing of pollutions, metabolizing of anything that comes your way is spleen meridian. And this is how you test. Okay, I'm going to stand to the side of your body. You're going to put your fingers straight down your leg. I'm going to put one hand up here on your shoulder and one hand above your wrist. And you're going to keep your elbows straight, and you're going to try to hold your arm next to your body, and I'm going to pull it straight out. Now, he's weak to begin with, okay? So we're going to get, okay, hold your arm real strong again. He's weak. Now, I could use a technique to get him strong, and it just occurred to me I'm going to do something different. I'm going to see if there's any of this food back here will make him strong. Because that's the kind of food you want to eat. Food that will really be good, not only be good for you, but will nourish you in such a way that'll give you more vitality and aliveness. Okay? So, let's see if this carrot does anything for you, okay? I'm just going to ask him to hold the carrot in his hand. Now, there's another way that you can, probably the best way would be to put the food in your mouth. But if you're allergic to it, if it's not good for you, then you don't want to put it in your mouth. So the second best way is just to hold it in your hand. We have semi-permeable membranes in our hand, and the energy just goes right through your hand and into your body, and your body knows. So hold your arm in the same way again, and I'm going to see if you get any strength from that carrot. Now, you would think, most people would think a carrot would give him a lot of juice, but it doesn't. So let's find something else. How about broccoli? Okay, let's see how the broccoli does. But this just goes to show you we are all different, all right? When we find something that's strong, now hold your arm next. When you find something that's strong, you can't budge the arm. Okay, try. I mean, I could line up several people and try to pull his arm out. He's not going to lose strength. So, broccoli for you. Okay.
That's good.
Okay, that's very good. But it was interesting. A carrot, wasn't. Now, there's something else. I don't know where this carrot came from, but sometimes it may be that the thing isn't organic. It may be if it was, I don't know if this is organic or not. Does anybody know? So if it's organic, he might register differently on the test than if it wasn't. But it also may be that carrots simply don't metabolize well in his body. Okay? You want to just check out a cookie just to make sure? All right.
I'll tell you about cookies.
Okay. Hold your arm strong. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Now listen, I want you to do something. We didn't really strengthen you, and we ended you up with a cookie that took away your energy. So just tap right here on the third thumb points, spleen points, and breathe. It helps, by tapping these points, your body begins to metabolize whatever might be in your body already, and it's just very good for you. All right. Okay. Thank you. Now, yes? Yes, foods can change, and your body changes, and what might be good for you one time might not be good for you at another time, or if you filled up on a lot of different foods of one kind, and then suddenly those foods may not sort of resonate and harmonize with some other kind of food coming in. So you may get different tests at different times. But then there are some things that you can count on, that every time you test it, you never are strong on it. And it's really invaluable to know this. It's like, especially if you're a very sensitive person, you may not know that it's the foods you're eating that is draining you a little bit. And in our culture especially, we are so indoctrinated to believe the experts about what is good for us. And what is good for you may be unique to you. It may be unique to you. And it's just really good to know. And about vitamins and supplements and minerals, one company might be good for you and another company might not, because different companies have different fillers and all sorts of different ingredients that might go into that vitamin, that suddenly that vitamin might not test strong on you, but with another company it might. Now, would somebody like to be tested on some vitamins and supplements here so you can see just how you'd test? All right. And again, I test with spleen meridian because more than any other meridian, it'll show you how your body will harmonize with it, whether your body will metabolize it. And just a minute. I'm sorry. There. Okay. All right, so I'm going to test you first just to see. So what you're going to do, if anybody wants to remember this, you put the hand straight down the side of the body with the thumb going down and the fingers going down. You place your open hand above the wrist and you pull the arm out. Okay. All right, so we're going to see if anything here will make you strong, okay? I'm just going to give her, this is a yam root, so we're going to see if your body likes yam root. Okay, hold your arms strong. Okay, she doesn't need it at all. She got much weaker. But that doesn't mean that that's the truth for anybody else. Her body doesn't need yam root. Let's see about this. Put that in your hand and hold your arms strong. And she really takes to B6. Okay, okay, hold your arms strong. She's very strong on B6. So now I'm going to show you one more thing. Since you're so strong on that, we're going to put a second one in your hand and see, and close your hand around it and hold real strong. 2, she needs at least 2 B6. So we're going to put a third one in and hold. And she loses it on a third one, which means that's too many vitamins. She can only use 2 without it starting to harm her. And it's just as bad, perhaps worse, to have too much of a different kind of vitamin than too little, because your body then has to work very hard to try to break that vitamin down. You can have them. So energy testing is a skill that you will refine as you practice it. You can improve the accuracy of your energy tests, however, if you maintain a beginner's mind. If you disengage your expectations, if you focus your intention, if you establish a resonance with the person being tested. And a good idea is to practice under double-blind conditions. Now, what you're going to do is decide between the two of you who wants to be tested first. Okay? You're going to be tested first. All right. And then you're going to turn to their side. Whoever is being tested, turn to their side. One of you is going to test and the other one is going to do the testing. Okay? And you face them. Face their side. Okay? Put one hand on the shoulder and the other hand goes straight down the body with the thumb going straight down, the fingers going straight down. Take your open hand and put it inside between the body and the arm and above the wrist and just pull out for 2 or 3 seconds. And and make sure that their elbows are straight, okay? And it's not a test to see how strong they are or if you can have more power than them. It's just to see whether the energy is literally traveling through that arm or not. Okay, so I'm going to do it one more time. And let's see, I would say if you, disengage from any expectations whatsoever. Don't guess whether it's going to be strong or weak. To just sort of have a beginner's mind. Have a beginner's mind and just do this. And then you don't have any expectations about it. And then pull the arm out and see if they're strong or if they're weak. You're going to resist. The person being tested resists. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Okay. Did you kind of think you have it? You have some people out there who are weak? I'll tell you what, come to that spleen point and tap them there. Oh, then she doesn't need it, okay? And then test it again and see if you got them strong. Okay? Yeah? All right. So and why don't we have the other person do it also to you so that you can have a sense. Would you like to do it to me?
Yeah, I'd like to try.
No, it doesn't matter, okay? But what I would like you to do is just, especially if you're feeling a little nervous about this, you can just be really within each other's energy fields. If you just sort of take a deep breath together and then pull the arm out. And it's just, okay? Right. So you put one hand on the opposite shoulder, and then the person being tested puts their arm straight down the side of their body. The person testing is going to put their open hand, don't squeeze your hand around their wrist, make your hand open so you're not closing energy off in any way, and then just pull for 2 or 3 seconds, okay? How much pressure to pull? It's, let's see, I would say you don't have to push with all your might, you don't have to pull with all your might. When somebody's testing you, or you're testing someone who is, for instance, weaker than you are, you know that this person, like, he might be stronger than me, and it felt to me like he was pulling a little bit too hard, so it becomes something where I've got to use my muscles. What I tell people is just use a couple of fingers if you know that okay, and what I'd like you to do is do it with a couple of fingers, your fingers only not turned like this, but your fingers straight, okay, and just see if I have a bounce. Now I am weak. Now this time it's different. The first time it felt like I was having to use too many muscles. Okay? Well. Okay. Okay. That is, by the way, we all have different vulnerabilities. That happens to be my strongest vulnerability is spleen meridian. That if I'm going to start getting weak on something, it's going to be spleen. And that has a lot to do with my history, and my old illnesses had to do with spleen meridian. So if I get off at all, it's going to show up in spleen meridian. So it really behooves me to keep these very strong. Oh, did the food leave? I was going to say, I wonder if any of that would be good for me. I'll try the cookie. Okay, now the only thing I would say is that with you on your test is just make sure your fingers don't bend. And you're going to see if I have a bounce. Okay. Okay, now that time, see your fingers begin to bend. Okay, so you don't want them to do that. Okay, now do it. Okay, now that was actually, you're pulling a little too hard. Okay, try it again. Okay, you just see if I'm going to bounce back. Okay, do it again. Yes, do I have a bounce back? Yeah. You're looking for a bounce. Now, if there is no bounce and you pull too long, you can't tell. Like if okay, you hold your arm strong. If I pull, now he is a little weak again. Let's see if the broccoli does for you. Here. Okay, now hold. Yeah, broccoli's good for you. Now see, there's a real difference now. Now hold I can't pull it out any further. There's something else to know, that if you're having to struggle too hard to hold your arm, you might consider that there's weakness there, even if it holds. If you're having to struggle too much, there is some weakness there, okay? But could you feel the difference when you had the broccoli or when you didn't?
I think I could.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I like broccoli.
Okay, let's try a cookie for you.
I hope this works.
Okay, now hold. Sorry. I think I can do that with 2 fingers. Yes, I can. Okay. All right. Anyway, you want to make yourself strong. But that's how you would test food. You would put the food in your hand and test it. If anybody would like to try, we ought to just take a moment here. If anybody would like to experience it, take a carrot, or everybody take one thing, and just test it so that. And just test it and see if you get a difference. You want the? Were you strong on it? Weak on it?
Well, she started out really strong.
And she got weak on the cauliflower?
Yeah.
Well, now that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And the first time I tested her, she was
Yeah. You want to try?
Okay. I'll try the broccoli. She doesn't like these, but she's still.
I guess I better get this show on the road. I'll have you guys all sit down now. Another thing you can do if you're unsure, because it takes a while it's like learning a new motor skill. When you first learn something, especially a motor skill, your body feels a little clumsy. You feel a little clumsy doing it. So practice in a double blind test. you don't know what you're testing, the other person doesn't know, and practice that way, and pretty soon you'll get very, very proficient at it. Oh, if you've already tested something that you know is good for you, then put that in the double-blind test. You know, you don't know which food that is or what it is, and just have somebody test that on you that you already know is good for you, and find out if you get an accurate test. And in the beginning, when your mind is involved or when you're unsure of yourself, you may not always get an accurate test, but very soon, suddenly, you'll start getting very accurate tests. And I work with children a lot, and children can do this real quick after they get into it, and they know when it really works, and it does. Surrogate testing allows you to test someone who's not able to offer resistance in an energy test. If someone is too sick, if they're in a coma or mentally impaired or too young to follow your instructions, surrogate testing can provide accurate information. Surrogate testing will even work with a pet. There are times when it is impossible to test someone. Perhaps it's a baby, or perhaps it's somebody who's in a coma, or an invalid, or perhaps you're having difficulty because the person is so strong, or they are so much weaker than you are. If there is a reason that you can't test somebody and you feel like you're not getting an accurate test, then it's really valuable to surrogate test them. And I'm going to show you that right now. I'd like somebody I haven't tested tonight, maybe a male and a female, to come up here. Come along. Yeah, you two. Okay, that's great. All right, Greg, you want to come? Okay. All right, now don't touch each other, okay? Now I'm going to test each of you and see what your strength is in your energy, whether it's flowing or not out that arm. Okay, you hold your arm real strong. He's nice and strong, okay? And she's nice and weak, okay? So now what I'm going to have them do is hold hands, all right? Now, watch what happens. He's now nice and weak, and she's nice and strong. That's called a surrogate test. Energy travels through to the other person. That's why sometimes you're with someone and maybe your energy is coming up, or maybe it's going down, because energy tries to balance out. And if you're losing energy with the person you're with, it's probably because energy tries to balance out and find that even keel between two people. But in the meantime, you can use it to test. Now you're going to, you didn't hold you didn't hold hands for very long, so you should have your energy back the way it was, okay? Okay, now hold hands again. Now say he's an invalid, and we can't test him, okay? So I want to find out what's going on in his body. Well, I can come along and test some able-bodied person and find out everything that's going on in him. Or say he's the baby, whatever. I can test her and get all the information. Now, we know that, okay, hold your arm strong. We know he's strong on stomach meridian. Let's see if he's strong on spleen. He's very strong on spleen. I can also touch him on the alarm points and test her and see, that's okay, that's lungs. I'm going to touch circulation, sex, stomach. So something's off. Okay, something's a bit off on alarm point on stomach, which means that there's an imbalance there. Now, you let go of her hand a minute. So just to make sure, so you can see that it isn't her, she's fine on that point. But it's him. So you can find out what's going on the other person by just holding hands that way. Okay? All right. Thank you. Did everybody understand how that works? Yeah. All right. The triple warmer and spleen meridians are the energetic arms of the immune system. Each protects you, but each uses an entirely different strategy. Triple warmer mobilizes the body to fight an invader. This ability to mount an immune response has been absolutely essential in helping life forms survive and evolve. But today, health problems are often rooted in an over-responsive immune system. Triple warmer is always on guard, often far more than circumstances require. Because so many of us are stressed to the max and live in a sea of chemical and electromagnetic pollutants, triple warmer perpetually engages in skirmishes to protect us, and then is not available to counter viruses and bacteria, disease. When triple warmer attacks a substance that most people can tolerate, it's called an allergy. When triple warmer attacks the body itself, as in multiple sclerosis or rheumatoid arthritis or Crohn's disease, then it's called an autoimmune disorder. There are, in fact, as many healing situations that require triple warmer to be calmed down than those that call for it to be activated. And there is an energy test to tell you which is required. Triple warmer can also be reprogrammed to stop attacking friendly forces in the environment or within your own body. Energetically, the immune system is made up of triple warmer meridian, spleen meridian, and all the strange flows. And I want to talk about triple warmer first because it seems to play more havoc in people's lives than any other meridian. I believe it was triple warmer that probably kept us alive as a species millions of years ago. It is the energy that turns on the fight or flight response, allowing us to beat up the foe, get away from danger, to really is an extremely primal force in our being. It also allowed us to, it would give us an allergic reaction if there was a poison out there. If it would give our bodies quick information that this was to be eaten or not eaten, this was to be gotten away from or fought. So triple warmer at that level was extremely important because it helped us to survive. Now, we've gone on and evolved through these years, through these millions of years, and triple warmer has not. Okay? It has extraordinary functions for us still, and it also has, in some ways, we have evolved faster than it has because we no longer want to beat most of the people up that we might feel sometimes. We might get angry and there might be an automatic reaction in us, or we might want to run away when maybe the higher calling is to stand there and be counted for. And so a survival mechanism turns on in us that would make us flee the danger or handle the danger in a way of fighting. And likewise, inside your being, triple warmer fights the foreign invader, fights the bacteria that you don't want in your body, fights the cancer. It does amazing things for you today in the same way that it helped you handle foes outside of your body, and still does in prehistoric times and still does today. But inside your body, the problem is we now are taking in allergens, we're taking in pollutants, man-made pollutants. We're taking in man-made electricities and microwaves that our body was not made to handle. We haven't evolved far enough to be able to handle some of the things that our body is now required to metabolize. So what happens when you eat something that is perhaps processed with too many pesticides or just has no nutrients in it? Triple warmer turns on and begins to fight to keep that body, or to keep that food from hurting your body. The problem is if it fights too much, you might begin to wheeze or you might have an allergic reaction, and it doesn't always serve its purpose as it once did. So, and likewise, if you are ingesting too many things or you are metabolizing or breathing in too many pollutants, now triple warmer is on the alert all the time. It's saying, whoa, danger. At every angle, there's danger everywhere. And it's now on the alert so much of the time that sometimes it doesn't know when there is danger and when there is not. It's like it's on the alert all the time. And in my experience, all of the diseases that you see that are called autoimmune diseases always have triple warmer involved. It's because the body starts literally fighting itself. It starts to fight itself because triple warmer's been on for so long. And so it's almost like an army coming out to fight, right? And in many, many instances, that's extremely valuable. It's like you want a good fighter inside of you to fight the foe. You just don't want fighting what it doesn't need to fight. And when you get like chronic stress fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, triple warmer is on all the time, and it's just getting exhausted. So you're an exhausted person because triple warmer doesn't turn off now. Your adrenals are going all the time. Your thyroid is having to work overtime. Everything is working way too hard because we have so many man-made pollutants that our bodies are trying to handle. Okay? So that is triple warmer in a nutshell. More people have an overabundance of triple warmer working in their body than they need. Okay? And it really creates havoc in our bodies. So most people need to sedate it instead of bringing it, or instead of activating it, they need to sedate it. I'm going to pick somebody. Would you like to come up here? One of the things, I'm going to move you right over here. One of the things that I didn't speak of is that all of the meridians are balanced by another meridian. Everything goes in pairs. And triple warmer is paired with spleen. And one of the reasons we have so many problems in autoimmune diseases that we probably did not have 100 years ago is because triple warmer is fighting so much, and it literally sucks energy from spleen meridian. Then you're much more sensitive. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to test her on spleen meridian. Okay, you hold your arm real strong, and it's nice and weak. Now, I'm not going to try to make spleen work. Instead, I'm going to sedate triple warmer, and I'm going to have you do it, all right? I want you to put your fingers right here in your temples and take a deep breath in and lift your fingers. Go. Lift them up over your ears, and on the out breath, go back behind your ears and down your neck and to your shoulders, and just hang your hands on your shoulders and let your breath out. And just relax and hold your shoulders. Now do that one more time. Okay? Put your fingers in your temples. Take a deep breath in and lift your fingers up over your ears. And on the out breath, take them down, back behind your ears and down your neck, and hold your shoulders. And then just drop your arms. Now, what she did was take a little bit of energy out of triple warmer. Now watch what happened. Hold your arm next to your body. She's got a little bit more energy. We got to do it a little bit more, okay? That's all right. When triple warmer's over, you got to really sedate it in order to take some out, all right? So I'm going to now we're going to take a little bit more out. Put your finger right over here at your temple on the other side. No, yeah, cross, yes. Now go around your ear and over your shoulder and off your fourth finger. And do it 2 more times. Around your ear, over your shoulder, and off your fourth finger. 1 more time. Around your ear, down your arm, and off your fourth finger. Now do it on the other side. This is a great thing to learn. You're sedating triple warmer. Start in your temple, go up over and around your ear, down your arm, and off your fourth finger. And start at your temple, around the ears, over the shoulder, down the arm, and off the fourth finger. 1 more time. Okay, start at the temple, around the ears, down the arm, and off your fourth finger. Now, watch what happened to you. Hold your arm next to your body. She's very strong. And what happened was I didn't do anything to spleen meridian. I pulled energy out of triple warmer so that her fighter inside calmed down. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is this, that by doing that daily energy routine that I've taught you, if you do that every day, that's one of the strongest, most valuable thing you can do to sedate triple warmer, because it takes the fight out of you. It won't take too much fight out of you. You will always have it for emergency, so you won't have to worry about that, but it will take the overcharge of that energy out of you. So unscramble your force fields first. If you do the Wayne Cook posture that we originally did, if you do a cross crawl, if you thump your thymus, you do your 3 thumps, if you do your crown pull and you zip yourself up, you will do a lot to start sedating triple warmer. If that isn't enough and you know that you have an overabundance of triple warmer in you, then you're going to want to do things like what we just did together. The first one, which wasn't quite enough for her, and that is one of those individual differences. You want to find out just what your body needs. And the first thing that we did was we simply smoothed behind the ears, and it's a way of taking triple warmer down. And if you all do this, if you put your fingers in your temples here, and you take a deep breath in and lift your fingers. And on the out breath, just smooth behind your ears and drag them down your neck, and then just hold your shoulders here. And when your fingers don't want to stay here any longer, just pull them with some pressure over your shoulders and drop them. Now, nobody has to test you if that felt good. If it felt good to you, you knew that that really helps your body, okay? If you find that, no, not enough happened, then you're going to want to flush triple warmer, which was the second thing we did, which was to put your finger on the opposite side of the head in your temple and go up around the ears again, over the shoulder, and off the fourth finger 3 times. And do it on both sides. It begins to calm triple warmer down. Now, the next thing that we could do is you can go to those squares on the acupuncture chart and hold triple warmer sedating points. You will see 2 points together that says first. First, and it links 2 points together. On her, it would be right above her elbow, and the second one is right below the knee. So I would link 2 points always together. And you just hold that for a while. This one takes longer than any other, but if you need it, it is so helpful. In fact, I'm going to say that if anybody out there ever has premenstrual syndrome, nothing works as well for me and many people that I know as holding these points. Suddenly, you just feel balanced. Your hormones start balancing out, and you feel calm, and you can go through your day like you were having a normal day. Or if you're feeling hysterical. My husband used to say, just lay down for a minute and I'll hold your points. And he meant triple warmer points. And it was wonderful. It was like I could feel just this energy that was of such an extreme stress just sort of melt out of my body. And I was normal in about 5 minutes, so it takes longer. You hold the first 2 points together for a couple of minutes, and then you go to the second points in the square, and you hold them, and you do it on both sides of the body. It takes longer, but it really, if that's what you need, it's worth it. Okay? All right, thank you. But yeah. That's a really good question. I'm going to tell you the best way to hold your own points. Many people find they can and they have no problem with it, but other people, depending on how overtaxed they are by this energy, it's like turning your own energy back in on yourself, and it doesn't work as well. You almost want somebody else to do it. But I have found if you can get into a relaxed situation, like hop into the bathtub and hold them, they tend to work. And that's when and so they usually work for most people if they can just really lay back in the water and hold those points then. How you would do yourself is you go like this, and you can hold your own. But you need a little bit, you don't want to get in a stressed position and hold them. You want to get into a relaxed position so you're not stressing yourself out further. What I want to say about triple warmer is that things start stockpiling in you. At first, you might feel like you can't get your energy back. And then the next step may be that you start having more allergies. And the next step may be that, something chronic may begin to happen to you. It's because your body is fighting your body after a while, or it's fighting too many things that are coming in. And so autoimmune illnesses and allergies are always triple warmer, okay? So now I don't like, what would you be allergic to? Can you say something?
Oh, potatoes.
All right, potatoes. We're going to pretend we have potatoes here. And I want you to lay down on the table. And I'm going to tell you, would you put your head up at the other end? All right. Now, if you find that you are allergic to something and you want to start overcoming that allergy, you know that at some time in your life, maybe this food was really good for you, or you know that it should be good for you. It has a lot of nutrients that might really serve you, and you really would like to find out if you can overcome triple warmer fighting it. What you would do is you'd take that food. I'm going to put that potato right there, right there in her middle. It can be right up here on her solar plexus, or it could be right on her belly button, okay? But just so that it goes through the middle of her body. And what you would find that spleen meridian would test very weak. Okay, that's what you would find if you put that potato there. Now, she wants to begin to get stronger so that her body doesn't have such an extreme reaction to potatoes, okay? Now, I will tell you that this will work most of the time, but if it does not work for you, if you do not get strong on spleen, then know that your body's wisdom says not yet. Okay? You're not going to overcome that yet. Now, maybe in time you will, but don't try to or outsmart your own body's wisdom. Okay? But most times, this will work. Okay? So you put the potato there, and there are several things to do. One is, there are some points right here. It's the beginning of stomach meridian. And you tap right there on stomach meridian. Now, she also could be doing this tapping. I don't have to be the one that taps. But I'm going to tap for about anywhere between 30 and 60 seconds. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to tap on a triple warmer point, which is between the 4th and 5th fingers. Let's see. And what tapping does is it breaks up whatever pattern is going on, and it tells the brain to react in a new way. You know, look again at this. Pay attention to this. So then I would come and I would do just the 3 thumps. I would go K27. And your thymus. And then your spleen. Now, if it's a really, for some people, that's enough, okay? If it's not a real bad allergy, you might do that for a few days in a row until suddenly you're holding that potato and you're not losing strength, okay? But if it's a really bad allergy, I would turn the person over, okay? You lay on your stomach and put the, I can't get around. I'm stuck. Maybe you better put your head at this end. I'm wired. Okay. I'd put the potato under her. Maybe slice it so it won't feel so bad. And I would clear all of her lymphatics down her back so that her lymph system can really flow. Now, these hurt, don't they? But the back points usually feel better than the front, and they're wonderful to clear. I mean, for a real quickie, fixer-upper, fast, have somebody just massage these points. And when your lymph system begins to take in the information that the potato is not bad for you, it's just one more step in blowing the charge on your body thinking that this is an allergen. And your body begins more and more to metabolize it, and in essence, you are evolving your body. You're evolving your body to be able to handle the stresses. Then I'd flip her over again if it's even, I mean, this is a real bad allergy, okay? Put your head at this end again. And with the potato still sitting there, I'd put her hands right on the potato, okay? And I would hold triple warmer sedating points. And I would hold these for at least 2 or 3 minutes on each side. And if you're somebody with a lot of allergies, I would suggest anyway, you know, once a day, either you do it to yourself while in the bathtub or have somebody else hold triple warmer sedating. Now, I'm holding them. I'm not staying as long as I would normally stay, but it does work. I'm somebody who used to be extremely allergic to just everything, and sedating triple warmer and strengthening spleen not only helped me overcome allergies and get me well, and my autoimmune problems disappeared, but I also lost the weight I could never lose, okay? Because for some people, and it depends on your genetic coding, but for some people, it can cause you to be overweight. And it has nothing to do with how much you're eating. It's just that your body will not burn calories. So it's a wonderful thing to know if you've got a weight problem and you know you're not eating too much. Can you feel that at all? Yeah, I could feel she's really flowing. Her body really responds to holding these points. Now, I should have held them longer, but I wish we'd had the potato here and then could have tested you. But that is basically the way to do it. And if you've got a lot of allergies, it's a good thing to do. Take a little bit of time every day so that your body can start getting stronger. And if you've got an autoimmune illness, boy, to sedate triple warmer every day is so invaluable for your health and your immune system. I just can't stress it enough. Okay. I want to tell you that there may come a time in your life or somebody that you know when they might need to strengthen triple warmer. These are rare times, but I'm going to tell you when it is. If you ever see someone go into anaphylactic shock, which means that they have such a strong reaction to an allergen that it could kill them, that's the time you want to turn triple warmer on. You want to hold the acupressure strengthening points or instantly flow it forward on the meridian. Get that meridian fighting so that because that's when you really, really need it. Another time is, well, I have had a couple of times when somebody was going to die. And holding the acupuncture strengthening points on triple warmer, they rally, they come around again, because it's like that's when they really do need that fighter. And so you can save a person's life at some particular time, perhaps. But for most situations, you want to sedate it. You want to sedate triple warmer. Okay? Yes?
What about if someone is fighting cancer?
If somebody is fighting cancer, unless it's at the very end, if it's at the very last stages of life, you often can help turn on their inner healer if you strengthen triple warmer. But up until the very end, you're sedating it because it's fighting too many things. It's like it doesn't even know where to put its energy. So sedating it always helps. Okay? If triple warmer mobilizes your inner militia, the strange flows mobilize your inner mom. They support and inspire. They strengthen and they cajole all of your organs and energy systems to function as a tight-knit family. The strange flows protect you using the principle of harmony throughout your whole body. In fact, whenever you laugh, whenever you feel pleasure or delight boosts your spirits, your strange flows start pumping. Spleen meridian serves as a strange flow as well as a meridian. It is the strange flow that is most centrally involved with your immune system. Anything that you do that you really love, from a favorite exercise to falling in love, activates your strange flows. And I'm going to show you some gentle techniques for getting these flows moving. These are the techniques for strange flows. The hookup, separating heaven and earth, drying off, and jump starts. Now, on the other side of the immune system is a whole system called strange flows. And probably strange flows outdate the meridian system, which goes back at least 5,000 years. It probably outdates that as far as knowledge about them and as far as even evolution, because they don't need a pathway to travel like meridians. And when I see very, very very tiny, like salamanders, things like that, you can see the energy of strange flows, but you don't see the energy of meridians. It's like that might have been one of the first energies that started our evolution forward. And strange flows have been called all sorts of things, from psychic conduits, because they are. You think them and the energy will move in your body. That's why when you think a positive thought or something good, very healing happens in your body. They've been called magic markers. They've been called curious conduits. They're called many different things in different cultures, but they're wonderful, because whereas triple warmer tries to protect the body by fighting the foe as well as it can, strange flows protect the body by harmony and by balance. Like when you suddenly feel happy, strange flows start to flow even better, and your health comes up and your energy comes up. And if you start to laugh, the strange flows flow. If you fall in love, you've got really good strange flow action in your body. They've got names for them, which I might name, but it's more important to know that they all begin to move when you feel positive about your life, or if you do some exercises that get energies unstuck. So there is, well, first of all, triple warmer and spleen and central and governing are considered meridians, but they are crossover meridians because they also act like strange flows. They will go anywhere in the body and turn on whenever they are needed and go wherever they're needed. There's also a belt flow. Have you ever felt like there was a top part of your body and a bottom part of your body, but they weren't quite flowing together? There's a belt flow around here that you want to be very strong so that you can feel connected throughout your whole body. And one of the simplest ways to get that flowing is any kind of stretching exercise. Stretching, yoga, those kinds of exercises open up the belt flow. There is something called a bridge flow. And I'm going to show you an exercise for the bridge flow right now. It's, again, any kind of stretching is really good. And if you just spread your legs and just sit back like you're on a chair, put your hands right here on the top of your knees and literally stretch your body in each direction. Just bring your shoulders to your opposite knees. Again, it's another kind of crossover. And it not only helps the crossover, it stretches your whole back and begins the bridge flow. It bridges energies between different parts of your body and between meridians. There's a regulator flows that regulate all your hormones. And there is a penetrating flow that penetrates deep within you. So it goes right deep into all of your organs. And when you're feeling happy, your organs get that energy. There is, did I name them? I think I named them. Strange flows. If you want, the best thing you can do to get your strange flows flowing is, if you can't just cause yourself to feel happier, you can have a happy memory. Bring to mind a memory that just makes you feel good. Literally, all of the flows will begin to happen. And then that alone begins to sedate triple warmer. So it turns that fighter off a little bit in you. Another excellent way to reach all of your organs is if you've got an organ in your body that you know needs help, you can literally close your eyes and send love or happiness or gratitude that that organ is still working so hard for you, that it's giving you unconditional love, still working hard for you. If you start thinking in this way, it literally will begin to up your health, make your immune system work better, and just leave you with much more vitality and aliveness. Here are some exercises that get your strange flows flowing, even if you can't kick in your happiness or your joy right away. And one of them is, if you want to get your body just going in the morning, and you say you can't get out of bed, or you don't want to face your day or anything like that, before you get out of bed, if you do a couple of things. One is to simply stretch yourself really with your arms above your head, stretch your legs down to the end of your bed. Just stretch a minute to get the energy flowing and moving. And then take your middle finger, put one at the third eye and one at the belly button. That's all. Just lay that way. And it hooks up. It hooks up your auric field, so it's flowing around your body well. It just sort of turns on your strange flows in a very calm way. It won't necessarily make you utterly happy, but it will hook them up so they'll start flowing. You have a better chance with your day just starting better. So if you do that for a couple of minutes, you'll find you take a sigh when it hooks. And then the next thing you do, keep the one hand there at your belly button And you don't have to have your palm of your hand there because it doesn't work very well, but you can lay on the back of your hand right down by your tailbone and just lay that way. And that gets the energy around the bottom part of your body connected. Okay? It's called a hookup. And it does many more things than just strange flows. But in fact, I would say if you have a friend or a child or a mate, somebody who you know is just losing some of their balance, if you ask them to lay down and you hook them up, when you do it to somebody else, use your thumbs. One thumb in their belly button, one thumb at the third eye, and just hold your thumbs that way without any pressure. You will see them take a sigh when it hooks. It goes, and they'll hook. And then you'll hook them down at their tailbone and at their belly button, and it'll hook down around the bottom of their body. And it's an excellent thing to do. It also hooks up your polarities of energies. The next thing, I want to test somebody on this because several of you can use this. How about you, Lonnie? Would you like to come up? Okay. Okay. Pull the sleeves down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test some of your strange flows. And I picked you in particular because you've got great energy, but there's one place we could get your strange flows flowing just a little bit better, okay? So I'm going to test you. See, I'll hold your arm real strong. You push up and I'm going to push down, okay? You push that arm up as I push down. Okay, very good. You're very strong. You see that? Do it again. Yeah, you're strong. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is come along and I'm going to lay my finger right at your waist. Okay? Now you push up and I'm going to push down. Boing. Okay. Now I'm going to touch right here at your neck. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. And you push up and I'm going to push down. In fact, you keep your little arm straight. Now I'm going to touch at your elbow. And basically, where I'm touching is at your joints. And if the energy isn't flowing really well through your joints, it means your strange flows aren't making all their connections. Okay? And I'm going to give you, we could go through every little joint you've got. Push up, and I'm going to push down. Okay? But now we're going to fix them all. Okay? We're going to get your strange flows flowing. If anybody out there would like to do this, you'll like knowing this one. And I would tell you it does more than just get your strange flows flowing. This is the best exercise I know if you're just starting to get sick. If you're just starting to not feel great, if you do this exercise, you can often nip it in the bud. And boy, you start to feel the flu, anything, it will move that energy out that's just started to come into your body, and you can often stop an illness very quickly. It's a great one to do between clients if you're a body worker or if you work with people in counseling of any kind. And if you feel like, whoa, you're getting bogged down with energy, do this and it'll move the energy. Okay, here we go. Okay, you stand right over here. You can watch me. You can face me if you want, however you want to do this. Okay, everybody else, would you like to stand up and do it? Rub your hands together real well and shake them off. Okay, now we're going to start this one with putting your spread hands right on your thigh and take a real deep breath in. Go. Now on the next in-breath, you're going to bring your hands together in a kind of prayerful position. You're going to go. Now you're going to reach one arm up and one arm down like this. You're going to go. You're basically separating heaven from earth here, okay? And you're looking up. You look up and you hold your breath until you don't want to anymore. You let your breath out and you come right back down to this prayerful position. By the way, prayer turns on the strange flows, okay? And it hooks your strange flows up also with other people's. So prayer is a good thing. Okay, up the other side. And reach up and look up to the sky. And then let your breath out and come back down to this prayerful position. And now the other side. One more time. Go. Reach up and look up. And this time, you're going to let your breath out, and you're going to fold over and hang over. You're going to go, and just hang your arms. Now you're going to take 2 deep breaths here. And you're going to slowly stand up, putting one vertebrae on top of the other. Roll your shoulders back and drop them. All right, now you're going to see what happens to you. And everybody else can sit down. And now, I'm going to test you in the same way. You push your arm up, and I'm going to push down. And I'm going to lay my finger again at your waist, okay? Oh, are you strong? Now I'm going to do it right. Where's that elbow? Okay. Push up, and I'm going to push. All right. Now at your neck. Okay. All right. And at your knee. All right. Okay. We got that energy moving. Okay. So that's a good exercise for you to do. Okay. That one is an excellent exercise also for arthritis or any kind of joint problems that you might have. It helps the energy move through the joints, and it's a great one. It's one of my favorite. Drying off. Now, we traced meridians earlier this afternoon, but you don't have to know how to trace every single meridian. In particular, you can keep all the meridians flowing in their right direction when you dry off from a shower or the bathtub, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very simple, but energy, let's see, if you go up, if you take your towel or your washcloth and simply dry off going up the inside of your body and the inside of your arm and the inside of your legs. That's how, if you do all your drying going up when it's on the inside and dry down when it's going down on the back sides and the outsides of your leg. You dry, go up the inside and down the outside. You will keep all your meridians flowing in the right direction. Okay? Huh? And your strange flows. It activates everything, yes. Okay. It not only will get all your meridians flowing in the right direction, it will activate your strange flows to work in harmony better. So that very simple thing of drying off or using a washcloth to wash yourself in those particular directions will activate your strange flows. Okay? There are all sorts of ways to quick start, to jump start your strange flows. And it's really hard. It's really difficult to just snap out of a bad mood or to be happy when you're feeling stressed and unhappy and your life is really pushing you. It's hard. But there are little things you can do other than these exercises that really not only turn on your strange flows, but they begin to build a habit in your nervous system so that your way of being in the world begins to change and you begin to feel lighter, you begin to feel more positive, you begin to feel literally a light shining from your being. And one of the ways is, as I said before, you might just once a day, when you're in a very difficult time, to remember something that made you happy. Just remember for a moment. Bring the memory to mind, and it will make your strange flows move. Or one of the things I really like to do is I know that gratitude is extremely important for the health of your being. And one way to get more and more familiar with your own body is to start going through your body parts. To say, for instance, oh, thank you, legs. Thank you for walking me around on this earth. And to always simply do my bidding. Go wherever I want you to go. Thank you, legs. You know, start talking to your body or start sending gratitude in. And if you have a difficulty even at that point of finding any way to feel thanksgiving or gratitude, If you have a wonderful color that you love, send a color into your being, send a color into your heart, or send something into your being and your body. That's why they're called psychic conduits. Your body picks it up that fast. That's why your thoughts have so much to do with the health of your being, because strange flows, especially happy thoughts, turn on your strange flows. Unhappy thoughts turn on triple warmer. And none of us need more triple warmer activated in our body. Also, negativity makes you exhausted and worn out. And happy thoughts give you more energy and more aliveness. So even if you are not in a space to really feel good at a particular time, if you can take even a moment to remember a child that makes you happy, or something wonderful that somebody did for you, something like that, you will jumpstart your strange flows, and more they will start activating in your body, and triple warmer will sedate more and more. Here is a summary of techniques for enhancing the immune system. For triple warmer, unstress and unscramble your energy field. Sedate triple warmer. Reprogram triple warmer by placing the allergen on your body and strengthening the triple warmer. And here are techniques for enhancing the strange flows. The hookup, separating heaven and earth, drying off, and jump starts.